All you gotta do is change your life. All you gotta do is change your life. And whoever need to hear that, that may not necessarily be from the outside of things. You know, all you gotta do is change your life. Especially if you want peace. If you want peace, you gotta change your life. If you want balance, you gotta change your life. You want healing, you gotta change your life. See, now that may require us to change some things on the outside, you know, and in most cases, once you start changing some things from the inside, it's gonna have you change some things on the outside. It's gonna be hard not to change some things on the outside. The way once you start changing your life from the inside, how you looking at everything outside you. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. You hear me? I tried to lay down 2 times already, you know, but the ancestors don't, you know, they won't let me rest, you know. So I came to talk to somebody or somebodies, you know, because it ain't gonna be just one, you know. Because we are not just bodies. We are spiritual beings radiating energy every moment. You know, every emotion is a transmission. As I said a couple videos ago, every emotion is a transmission. You know, and the more I marinate in that, and go back to feel good for no reason at all, regardless of what's going on. You hear me? In you and out you. Because you got a choice. And every day we get is a good day, because every day we get above ground, if you don't listen, you're going to miss it. Every day we get above ground is the day we get to decide how we choose to feel, regardless of what show up. And I don't care what show up. and that's the place we need to be in. Regardless of what show up, we're going to feel good for no reason at all. Because all those things that I started out speaking to, they come through the ability to do that. You know? Expect something greater yourself, as my shirt implies. You gotta be able to do that. Whatever you see for yourself, you gotta be able to do that. Because everybody ain't gonna cheerlead for you. And you gotta be your best one. Everybody ain't gonna applaud for you. So you gotta be your best one. You hear me? Good science is good observation. Good science is good observation. So that got everything to do with how we observe ourselves from the inside out more than they do from the outside in. You see? Because once we depend on, or once we allow things external with us to start dictating how we think, how we feel, and how we move, we're already on the wrong end of things. Cause that ain't how it works from the inside out. You know, when we let external things dictate how we gonna move and operate in our being, we already don't absorb all of what we weren't supposed to, because we were supposed to just be observing it and being receptive to the lessons of what we're observing, whether it be positive, negative, or in the middle, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. You know, I just said the same thing both ways. You hear me? For those who listening. But yeah, man, the ancestors wouldn't let me rest, man. So here I am. You know, it may be 11 something at night, it may be 4 something in the morning. But when this happened the way that this happened, here I am, man. You know, they want me to speak to whoever they're supposed to reach. You know, because we all need freedom. And what I mean by freedom, true freedom, that is. And the reason that we all need freedom, because it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, you know, just to name a few. But those fruit is important enough, because staying true to yourself sometimes mean walking away from the pack. So as I said in the beginning, all you gotta do is change your life. You know, and walking away from the pack may not mean, you know, people outside you neither. See, it's layered. It's layered, but you ain't gonna get it from the place that you listening from. You only gonna see what I'm saying. You see, cause words paint pictures, so you only gonna see what I'm saying from the place you witnessing it from. I need somebody to listen. You know, sometimes staying true to yourself mean walking away from the pack. Cause we talking about freedom, freedom. You know, and when it comes to attachment, and I know, based on what the attachment may be, based on who the attachments may be, you know, it ain't easy as it sounds, you know, but staying true to yourself sometimes mean walking away from the pack. I don't know who need to hear this, you know, and no matter and sometimes when you're doing the right thing for the best purpose, you know, you could be led to feel wrong about that. But even wrong situations can be the right situation for the soul's higher purpose. Even the wrong situation can be the right situation for the soul's higher purpose. And the mind, heart, and the mind, our minds, our heart, and our energy must all be in sync. But as I was in the shower, I was marinating and meditating on that. And thoughts paint pictures too. Just like words paint pictures, thought paint pictures too. But as I was marinating on that, you know, how wrong situations can be the right situation for the soul's highest purpose. Somebody need to catch that. Because even the wrong situations can be the right situations. But our mind, heart, and our energy must be in sync, because it's for the soul's higher purpose. So if we ain't paying attention to what we're experiencing, that give us an opportunity to pay attention from it, sometimes we miss the lessons. I don't miss some lessons before, you know. And when you miss lessons, it'll have you in that loop. And I don't been in that loop before. So I take it as an honor to be able to speak to that loop, talk to that loop from the inside out, you know, because I'm outside looking in. You hear me? It's a beautiful thing, man, because we talking about freedom, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We talking about peace. We talking about balance. We talking about healing. And the reason that this is so important, and we talking about how divine timing works, even through what it appear like being the wrong situations, but for the soul's highest purpose. So who's to say it's wrong? if the wrong situation can be the right situation for the soul's highest purpose, who decides what's wrong and what's right? And if you decide what's wrong and right, or you decide what's wrong and right according to what you was taught was wrong or right for you before you became able to decide it for yourself, because now we in a place that we got to get ourselves in the space. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it, to decide certain things for ourselves. So that means we got to go back to everything that we've been influenced with, you know, everything we've been taught. You see, everything we've been told, you know. In a lot of cases, that wasn't coinciding with something within us. It wasn't resonating with something in our soul, and we knew it then, you know. But as a child, when you a child, you do what children do. See, but when we grow up, we put childish things away. So once we grow up or become an adult, you see, a wise one, you know, a wise grown up that's growing up, at some point gonna come to the conclusion within themselves that, well, man, what I'm doing within me that I was taught, but it don't sit right with me. So if it don't sit right with the me that is you, then it was wrong for you, regardless of if we was taught it. Everything we was taught, we don't carry. But what are we still carrying that ain't no good for us in our right now? Because whatever that is, whoever that is, you see, or whatever that's at, that's what's in the way. And the reason that I point that out, because our unconscious don't care about our happiness. Our unconscious, you see, don't care about our happiness. It only care about what's familiar. So even when you consciously want to do something, for example, you could consciously want to do something different. You could consciously want to experience something different. Or you could consciously want to do something different. And if you consciously want to do something different, 9 times out of 10, you know, it's because you want to experience something better, unless you just on demon time, you know. But for the most part, even then, even if you're on demon time, you know, and you're doing something different, it's for you to experience something better. Now, it's a lot of space in between those two extremes, but you only gonna see it where you see it from, and you can only see it from the place that you at. So it's gonna hit everybody different. But usually when we want to do something different, it's because we want to experience something better. Because I don't think nobody would want to really do something different, you know, to experience something worse. And if it's been worse, and if it's been worse for you than it is now, because we all done been through some things. So if it's better, so if it's better now than it's been, you winning. You hear me? Don't let nobody tell you different. But usually when we want to do something different, it's because we want to experience something better. But what we always attract, what we always attracted, and do what we always did, and therefore get what we always got. If we ain't made ourselves unfamiliar with some things that we got used to, that we had no business getting used to, because we just familiar with it. Because as I said, our unconscious don't care about our happiness. It only care about what's familiar. You see? So based off what's familiar and what we used to, we'll tell ourselves the same stories around what's familiar or what we used to, whether it's good, positive, or indifferent. You hear me? But in the case that I said good, positive, or indifferent. Now I wonder who caught that. You hear me? But whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you know. But if it's bad or indifferent, or negative, or in the middle, which is indifference, then those are stories that we need to be paying more attention to, you know, because like I say, we'll attract what we always attracted, do what we always did, and eventually get what we always got because it's familiar. Therefore, it's necessary to become aware of the patterns. It's important to become aware of the patterns, you know, that we have been imprinted with. That's why I say as a child, you do what a child do, but once you become a grown, you put childish things away. So that means you got to do a thorough investigation on yourself. You gotta put that magnifying glass out on you. You see, you know. Yeah, but we got to come aware of the patterns that we being imprinted with. You know, that have us living in the loop. And what I mean by living in the loop is living unconsciously, is living out unconsciously what we consciously don't want to live out. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. So it's important that we become conscious of our unconscious programming and dismantle that its power. Because we ain't conscious of it, it's got power over us that we don't even know it have over us. And if you ever find yourself wondering why you did something that part of you didn't want to do, but based on how you was feeling, you did it anyway, then that apply to you. You know, you're not conscious of your unconscious programming. Cause I done been there before. That's why I could point it out. You hear me? So I ain't been no saint, and I ain't been perfect. You hear me? But we must become conscious of our unconscious programming and dismantle its power. And that's important because the ego don't want you to heal. Just like the ego didn't want me to heal. You see, not my lower ego. My lower ego didn't want me to heal, and your lower ego don't want you to heal neither. You see, but the ego don't want you to heal or us to heal, because if we heal, then the ego don't have no identity. The ego don't have no identity. And then you can have your authenticity. I am authentically me. You hear me? You know, well, that's another story. You know, yeah. If you heal, when we heal, when I heal, my ego didn't have no identity. You know, because and in that, the old man was dead and gone. In the words of T.I. So now I'm unrecognizable to whoever I'm unrecognizable to. You know, and if I'm unrecognizable to anybody that I knew in any form, you know, I'm still me, but in my energy and my vibration, if I'm unrecognizable to anybody that I knew or that I know, it's only because I grew and they didn't. I healed and they didn't. And that's what we're here doing right now. You hear me? But the ego do not want us to heal because it loses its identity. But when it loses identity, there's no need for a mask. See? There's no need for defense mechanisms. When the ego loses its identity, you see, there's no need for survival strategies. Therefore, there ain't no need to repeat the past because it's familiar. See? But the ego will never tell us that. The ego will never tell us that because it wants us to suffer. And due to the reason that it wants us to suffer, this is what the ego will do, y'all. The ego will give us a million reasons. See? The ego will give you a million reasons why you should hold on to your pain. Your ego will give you a million reasons to tell yourself the same story that painful experiences came through. The ego will give you a million reasons why your wounds are justified and it's somebody else's fault. Who listening? Because the ego will give you a million reasons. Amen. But y'all know what? Even though the ego will give you a million reasons, it's a trap. It's a trap to keep you from yourself. And only those of us who recognize this, because we put ourselves under that microscope, we know this for the truth that it is. It's a trap to keep you from taking ownership of your life. It's a trap to keep you from taking ownership of your mind. It's a trap to keep you from taking ownership of your heart. See, to keep you from taking ownership of your healing. Therefore, remaining the victim. Because if you're a victim, then it's always somebody else's fault. It ain't never you. Yeah. Cause I was about to go off the deep end. You hear me? Yeah. The ego will have you remaining. It'll give you a million reasons why you should remain the victim. But the only one who could break that cycle is you. See? The cycles I had to break, the only ones who could break them cycles in me was me. So the only one who could break them cycles is you. And only you. Because it's only you. And not only because it's only you, ain't nobody coming to save you. I was blessed that I was blessed to have a great grandmama on the planet upon my arrival. A great grandmama. I wish I could have met a great grandmama, but I was blessed to have a great grandmama. You know, she lived at 99. She lived at 99. But I was blessed to have a great grandmama along with my grandmamas, you know. So I got a lot of lessons, you know, early in my life that I didn't know would be directing my life in the way that it is today, because the right lessons was instilled in me, you know, at a time where I couldn't even grasp the knowledge and the wisdom and the jewels and the insights that was being planted, that was being imprinted upon me. Way beyond the toxicity that I witnessed, that I experienced, you see, that I went through and that I had to get up out of. Those things was necessary for the lessons that was gonna make for the physical lessons, for the external lessons, to make all those jewels and knowledge and wisdom, you know, that was being imprinted in me orally make sense. You know, see, we could be told something. We could be given instructions, just to give y'all a better analogy. We could be given instruction about things that we don't always comprehend what we're being instructed about until we have certain experiences, and then it all come back in play. You know, it all come back in play. So I said all that to say we've been given everything we need, cause ain't nobody coming back to save us. See, I don't have great grandmamas, my mama, you know. If Jesus ain't returned and all those generations, what make anybody think somebody coming back in this one? When if we wanna get biblically, all Jesus said was, upon his departure, the Spirit would return. I guess they missed that. You hear me? But ain't nobody coming to save you or me. So I guess it's on us to do the work. You hear me? And if that be the case, healing is necessary, because it takes healing to become whole. You hear me? So even wrong situations can be the right situation for your soul's highest purpose. You see, if you're not so focused on the situation more than your focus is on, why am I going through this situation in the first place? And if I'm going through a situation that I don't want to be going through, what is it meant to teach me? See? I share a lot of things that I was taught, but most things that I share, I wasn't taught. You get it from the field. You get it from the living the process of living. The process of living, because living is a process. Yeah, man. But I gotta lay it down, because I got a early morning, man. But like I said, the ancestors wouldn't let me rest till I came through and said something. And now they telling me to flip one, because I ain't flipped one in a minute. So I'm gonna do that. There it is. You know the way. Whatever the way is, you know the way. You know the way. Whatever the way is, you know the way. And what's so heavy about that? Because whatever that way is for you, whatever way you know, 9 times out of 10, and it's strange. It's strange right here. Oh, I found it. Whatever that way is, it may not look like nothing nobody told you. It may not look like nothing that you learned. You see, it may not look like nothing that you saw. That means your way. Whatever that way is that you know. You see? Because you know the way. Trust your intuition on this journey, because you know the way. See, remember I said your unconscious don't care about your happiness. But you know the way to it. What are you gonna have to what are you gonna have to give up? It could be people, places, or things. What are you gonna have to give up for your happiness? Because you know the way. And that's a 44. You hear me? That's a 44 master number. What you gonna have to give up? Because you know the way. In this life, there will be many voices telling you the right way to go. See? Love confirmation. In this life, we don't all have many voices. Meaning, because we ain't raised ourselves. See? Through our upbringings, we don't have many voices telling us the right way to go. That ain't always been the right way to go. See? Because sometimes wrong situations, came through the right way to go. But it was for our soul's higher purpose. And this is what we didn't know. That they want us to remind us. See, in this life, there will be many voices telling you the right way to go. They can be confusing and sometimes contradictory, pointing out all of the intersecting paths that you could take. Just know that this life is yours and yours alone. No one else can tell you the path that is yours to walk. No one else can tell you the path that is yours to take. For only you know the way. So if you have pulled this card, and which I have, then know that you are going in the right direction. Who needs this confirmation? Because we shouldn't, but it's necessary sometimes. So whoever needed this confirmation, you're going in the right direction. You're on the right path. Keep the noise. Keep block out the noise. You see, because the right way, the right way for you, a lot of times don't line up with the right way for others. Because when it comes to beliefs, when it comes to how you think, when it comes to how you talk, when it comes to how you operate, when it comes to how you feel, and you unafraid to express that in the various forms and fashions that those things can be expressed. A lot of times it don't line up with how a lot of people see and view things. It don't line up with how a lot of people perceive, you know. And one thing I know, when you authentically yourself, if it's one thing that this journey had reminded me and continues to remind me as a teacher, that everybody don't like when you put that mirror in their face. But if they're in your face and you keep that mirror on you, what they expect? You see? I know, because I've been on the other side. But to get back to the card, in addition, this card can also mean, and let me back it up so we get it. In this life, there will be many voices telling you the right way to go. They can be confusing and sometimes contradictory, pointing out all of the intersecting paths that you could take. Just know that this life is yours and yours alone. No one else can tell you the path that is yours to walk. For only you know the way. If you have pulled this card, and which I have, then know that you are going in the right direction. In addition, this card can also mean that you might need to listen to your inner voice now regarding the future decision. I started out saying, all you gotta do is change your life. Listen to your inner voice now regarding the future decision. Listen to your inner voice now, not tomorrow, not in 5 minutes. You see, right now, listen to your inner voice regarding the future decision. Because your future is in this moment. Your future is in this moment. Because you only hold the future in your mind. You hear me? Take some time to reflect on the voices that you might have been listening to. See, I just spoke to all of this. I love this, man. This is how I know the ancestors have my back. You hear me? Take some time to reflect on the voices that you might have been listening to. Is there one that is drowning out your own? See, we'll be surprised how many people got so many voices in their head they can't even hear their own voice. You see? That's why when I take time to fall back and y'all don't see me, everything quiet, no frequencies, no nothing. I take a day or two, no radio, no nothing. Just me, myself, and I, all three of us. You hear me? That's a hard space to be in when you flip inside out. That's a hard place to be in when you've been flipped inside out. It take a lot to get rooted and grounded you know, in oneself. Set aside some time today to connect with your inner voice and intuition. There are many different ways in which you can do this, and each person will be unique in how they receive their inner guidance. It ain't gonna look like Sawu method. See, you know the way. Whatever work best for you to get you in an elevated space. You know that way. You know, my disciplines ain't for everybody. Listen, trust me. There are many different ways in which you can do this, and each person will be unique in how they receive their inner guidance. Go somewhere with minimal distractions. See, you can't have no distractions. Go somewhere with minimal distractions and begin to reflect upon the question. Begin to reflect upon the decision. Begin to reflect upon the choices that is before you. Notice how your body feels when you think about each option. Is it tense or relaxed? What do you feel when you think about each option? If you can close your eyes and imagine each scenario playing out in your life, which possible outcomes do you prefer? Think about what is it. Think about what it is that you want for your life. All you gotta do is change your life. Think about what it is that you want for your life right now, and also for the future, because you hold the future in your mind. As you go through these exercises, look for what gives you a feeling of peace. See how I started it up? If you want peace, all you gotta do is change your life. Peace is what will help guide you, and you know the way. You hear me? I thank y'all for having me. Thanks for the likes, comments, shares, peace out, rules, love, offerings, donations, Osio, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, Alafia, Aloha. You hear me? I ain't started in my opening, but I'm gonna greet us in our closing. You hear me? I appreciate y'all for being y'all. For those of y'all who show up for the old boy. For those of y'all who support the channel. You hear me? I appreciate y'all. 1 week. You hear me? Stone Mountain. But I gotta go calm my adrenaline and get myself a little settled down where I can take it on down, because I got an early morning, and if I stay up too much longer, I don't even want to put that in the universe. You hear me? So I'ma do that. You hear me? I'm gonna do that. Ain't nothing else coming through. I'm gonna do that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Till we do it again, be you how you be you. I'm known as Sawu. Love.